Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and I am back in automation and BeamNG.drive, and we are looking once again at this car here. I made this a couple of weeks ago, and I put my most powerful engine that I've ever made in it. It is a quad-turbo V12 with 7,785 horsepower. If you watched that video, you remember when I tried to keep this thing in a straight line. It was just not working. The car was too light. It's just not the right car for it. So, I was kind of agonizing over, what kind of car I could make with this engine that would, be suited well for it. And ultimately, I decided upon this. Now, when I was looking for a large vehicle to base my Thanksgiving Day parade float thing on, I downloaded a couple different mod body options, and one of them was like a city bus. And I was like, it would be really dumb and stupid and crazy if I put that 7,700 and whatever horsepower engine in a bus. And that's what I did. And then I put a wide body kit on it. I put a giant spoiler on the back, put a giant front splitter on there. I made it into a race car, I guess, if you want to call it that. This has probably never been done before, turning a bus into a race car. So that's what I did. I thought it would be a fun way to use this engine. Definitely the added weight of a giant bus helped, I think. The power to weight ratio is still leaning towards the power because of the massive amount of power of that engine. So it still works in that respect. But yeah, I'll show you what we have going on. I called it the DSM Expo. I feel like that's a decent Expo is like a decent name for like a city bus sort of thing. While keeping my DSM branding for my ultra ridiculous cars and stuff like that. Let's take a look at what I have here for this vehicle. So as you can see, it is this mod body segment right here. This one, I wanted the windows on the side because I thought it made the most sense for like a bus sort of thing. There's lots of options with this one. You can go super long, super short, insanely long with like the swivel in it and stuff like that. But I don't know if that actually works in BeamNG. I highly doubt it does. It would be cool if automation had support for more than 4 wheels, but it doesn't right now at least. So this is what we're dealing with. And then I kind of spec'd it like a super hypercar or something like that. So we got carbon fiber everywhere, pushrod suspension. It's a mid-longitudinal engine, again, using that quad-turbo V12 that I designed. It is all-wheel drive. It does have a dual-clutch 10-speed transmission. So yeah, all the stuff that you'd expect to see on like a crazy hypercar and stuff like that is all, what you'd expect. Estimated top speed of 311 miles an hour based off of the transmission. Electric LSD, all that stuff. We're of course using semi-slick tires, super wide boys, 360 in the front, 385 in the rear. They are 30-inch wheels, which is ridiculous. But it's a bus, so what do you expect? Of course we're using carbon ceramic 6-piston brakes. I had to really go crazy on the brakes with this thing, for obvious reasons. To get it to stop somewhat reliably. The flashing red thing there is saying that the downforce to top speed is too high. That's probably just because the vehicle is so heavy. But, it does work in BeamNG. I haven't tested like a top speed run, but it does at least drive around as you'd expect. It does actually work in that respect there. And of course, I tried to optimize weight for lightness. And it did actually end up with a 50-50 weight distribution, which is crazy for a vehicle like this. Yeah, it's actually expected to sell 3 of them somehow. I don't know how that works, but yeah, let's see. It does cost $2.3 million. As you'd expect, everything is max out quality, just insane stuff going on here. When you look at the test track, the performance is also nuts as well. So according to the test track, the top speed is 308, which is still crazy. Anything over 300 miles an hour is nuts, especially for a vehicle this big and bulky. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.2 seconds, which is again, insane for something that weighs almost 6,000 pounds. Definitely going to be a beast on the quarter mile. I'm really, really excited to try this thing out in BeamNG.drive. So let's just do it. Let's take this thing to BeamNG.drive and let's see how this thing actually handles on the road, on the track, and all the other stuff that I normally test out. All right, we are in the West Coast USA map. The textures never really load that well, although when you get close to it, it actually goes up pretty decently. It's just when you're far away. That's probably more because of my computer than anything. But anyway, we have the DSM Expo race bus, oh, I forgot how loud this thing is. Oh my god. Hang on, let me turn the volume down. Alright, now I should be able to talk over it. But yeah, this thing is insanely fast. According to that readout on the bottom there, 0 to 64 miles an hour in 2.93 seconds. Dear God, that's fast. And that's on just a regular road, not a prepared surface like a drag strip or anything like that. That is just the highway. So this thing is insanely fast. Let's see what speed we can get it up to on the highway here. 271, and then it fishtails like crazy because I tried to turn it. Oh my god. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. I've built a lot of stupid cars in my time in automation. This might be the dumbest. And that's saying something. Like I said, I built a freaking Thanksgiving Day parade float with 1,000 horsepower. That was pretty dumb. This is a bus that with a wide body kit and a gigantic spoiler with almost 8,000 horsepower. This is stupid, but really fun. And you know, honestly, it doesn't handle that poorly. I mean, obviously, anything this fast is gonna be a handful on roads like this, especially as I'm trying to turn. It's just body parts are flying off everywhere. But you know, it could be way worse. It could definitely be way worse. The giant rear diffuser situation, that is like usually the first thing to fall off if you go over any sort of bump, of course. I like the rear exhaust. Well, I guess most exhaust is in the rear, but like kind of in the middle of the back of the bus, I think is kind of a funny way to put the exhaust on this thing. But yeah, this thing is just so fast. It's so loud, and it's just ridiculous. It's completely insane. I really think, you know, why don't they make race buses? I mean, they make race semi-trucks. Why not a race bus? Do a burnout here. It actually drifts surprisingly well. Take it around that corner really nicely. Yeah, I'm surprised I can actually get like any sharp turns in this thing, considering that it is a bus. You kind of have to handbrake those sharp turns no matter what. Oh, I kind of bounced off the curb there. It is insanely low, I guess, for a bus. I mean, the ground clearance is probably regular for like a car, but it just looks insane because it's like squatted down on these wheels like a bus. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of how. Can I just take it off the pier real quick, just for fun, for funsies? Oh, nope, I can't get around that thing there. Actually, I don't think there's a way to take it off the pier. Okay, well, yeah, let's take this to the automation test track and see what kind of lap we can put down. All right, taking this thing to the track. What an insane launch there. Immediately has to step on the brakes. This thing is so fast in a straight line. But obviously the turns are going to be where it struggles the most. Again, it has a 50-50 weight distribution, but it does still weigh 6,000 pounds, despite the fact that everything is carbon fiber. And again, it does have almost 8,000 horsepower, so it's going to be a handful no matter what. Because of how long it is, it's going to take some of these turns pretty wide. I'm kind of like struggling to get it to turn around that corner. This would definitely benefit from like rear wheel steering. which would be like a really cool thing to add. I don't even know if BeamNG has support for rear wheel steering. I'm sure it does. Oh, geez. I'm going 240 miles an hour. Really gonna slow down. Oh my god. I got up to that speed insanely fast. Insanely fast. I got up to 240 miles an hour on that straightaway, and I wasn't even like halfway down it. I really had to start slowing down. That's ridiculous. I'm glad I finally found a vehicle worthy of my insanely high-powered engine. Oh man, the brakes are actually pretty decent, all things considered. But yeah, you can kind of see like the engine is starting to turn yellow over there on the damage indicator. It's kind of hard to get an engine like this to perform without it getting overly stressed. I mean, that's just a lot of torque. That's a lot of power. You know, there's only so much you can do to prevent that from being an issue. But here we go. Fairly drama-free, other than the insane acceleration, all the way around the automation test track. Are we going to get a sub 2 minute time in this thing? We are 155. 143. That's the fifth fastest. That's the fifth fastest time of any car I've tested in a bus. It doesn't make any sense at all. That's faster than the supercar that I built. It was like the first car I built. That's insane. Oh my god, that's faster than like any of the real cars I built. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's nuts. All right, I know this thing's gonna put down an insane time in the drag strip. Let's find out what we're dealing with here. All right, time to see what kind of drag run this thing can pull off. A little bit of a wheelie to start. It's kind of bouncing a little bit. That's not the best thing I could hope for, but 7.5. That's the second fastest time. Oh my god, what a beast. What an absolute beast. So this is only 0.3 seconds slower than the hypercar with the same engine. That's ridiculous. Or no, wait. It's actually... No, it's faster than the hypercar with the same engine. So yeah, this kind of proves definitively that this is the better vehicle for that engine. which is crazy. Obviously that's nuts. Alright, I do want to find out what the actual top speed of this thing is. Alright, we're at the grid map to find out what the top speed of the DSM Expo race bus is. Automation estimated 308 miles an hour, but it's been wrong in the past. It also says that it would bottom out at top speed, so let's find out what happens there as well. We're going way past 308. We're not way past. Yeah, I got up to like 312, and it does bottom out. 313 is the actual top speed that I got up to in this thing. And it got up to that speed quickly. Like, super quick. You can see there 0 to 63 in 2.33 seconds. That's bonkers. This is just absolute bonkers. I love this thing so much. I think it's such a crazy vehicle. I wonder how far this thing's gonna fly off the car jump arena jump. All right, you know that we had to do this. Take this thing. Oh, I just lost the rear diffuser. All right, so you knew we had to do this. We had to take this thing to the car jump arena. And as always, if you have been enjoying this video, give this video a like. That would be really cool. If you want to see what else I come up with in automation, you can subscribe to the channel. I try to post an automation video every week. And I will make this automation vehicle available on the BeamNG mod site as well. And I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to try this thing out for yourself. But of course, last but not least, we have to take this thing off the car jump arena. Let's see how far this thing can go. Again, insanely fast, insanely heavy. I think this thing's going to go really, really far. 275 miles an hour off the jump. It actually didn't go... I mean, it went to the 500 mark. I thought it would actually go further than that. And we lost 3 of the 4 wheels. and it just barely sits on the edge of the pool there. Uh, I still can't believe this is one of the fastest cars that I've ever built, and it's a bus. So yeah, there you have it. One of the best cars, hands down, that I've ever made. And it is a bus with nearly 8,000 horsepower. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.